Welcome back to Good Health Gardens. Bread pudding always brings back the most wonderful childhood memories for me. And it's an excellent way to utilize bread that you might throw away otherwise because it's stale. Well, stale bread is what you want for bread pudding. And this recipe has the easiest, most delectable caramel sauce you ever put in your mouth. Come on, let's get started. This is a very simple but versatile recipe. If you don't like raisins, don't use those. If you want to use another fruit, that's fine too. Any kind of bread will do. Just cut your bread into bite-sized pieces. And once you've done that, add your raisins in and mix those together. You want to make sure there are raisins throughout the bread pudding, evenly distributed. Next, add your eggs. This recipe uses 6 eggs. Beat the eggs first until they're well beaten, and then add milk. You can use any kind of milk you like, whole milk, or some people even use canned milk if they don't have whole milk. This is where you really spice up your bread pudding by using the spices that you like. If you don't like cinnamon, use something else. I love vanilla, and so I use a couple of teaspoons, actually 3 teaspoons of vanilla in this recipe. But you can alter the spices to your liking. Make sure everything is well blended. Well blended. You don't want little pockets of this or that in your bread pudding. Add your brown sugar last and beat this until everything is very well blended. And then all you have to do is pour this wonderful liquid over your bread. Make sure to cover every single piece of bread. And once you've poured all the liquid in there, you can even take a spoon and press down on the bread to make sure everything is completely saturated. You want this bread completely saturated with that wonderful, wonderful liquid. Bake this at 350 degrees for 1 hour. And 10 minutes before it's finished, put pats of butter on the top. That just makes for a wonderful, wonderful crust. To make your caramel sauce, start by putting 4 tablespoons of water in your pan. This is just a way of caramelizing your sugar. And for me, I like using the water. Some people don't use water, but whatever works for you is fine. But this is my process. You make sure the sugar is boiling, but you have to watch it very, very closely. And when the sugar starts to turn brown, starts to caramelize, you have to watch it very, very carefully. And when everything is melted together and the caramel is the color you want it to be, that's when you want to add your butter. And when you do that, it will start to boil again. You can control the heat a little bit just by lifting the pan off of the heat. You don't have to turn the heat down because the butter will reduce the temperature of the caramel sauce. And when that's well blended, add your heavy cream. This is the secret to a really, really good caramel sauce. Again, control your temperature just by lifting the pan off of the heat. And when this is well blended and after it's simmered for a few minutes, you'll be able to tell. It will start to thicken. And look at that. Isn't that the most beautiful caramel sauce you've ever seen? And bread pudding is also excellent for breakfast. In fact, I'm having some this morning for my breakfast.